And now, Giant Sports Talk Live. Here are your hosts, Eric and Glenn.
We're talking Giants every day. From McCovey Cove to the Oracle Park lights, Eric and Glenn keep the fire burning bright, fighting for the glory, no matter what it costs us, breaking down the moments from the wins to the losses. Giant Sports Talk, we're here for the ride. Eric and Glenn with the fan base pride, talking dreams, will they contend? But we'll back the Giants till the very end.
Ding, ding, ding.
Let's go, Giants! Yes! Yes! Oh! Eric and Glenn breaking it down, all Giants all the time.
All right, welcome to Giant Sports Talk Live. We got a back-to-back shows. When's the last time we did a back-to-back show, Glenn? It's been a little while.
Playoffs, baseball
Yeah.
playoffs.
Yeah, we went like
Wait, back to back.
we did 4. Oh man, I don't know what the hell we were thinking, but hey, it was fun though, right?
A lot of fun.
Anyways, welcome to Giant Sports Talk Live here on this Monday evening, guys. College football is now over. They're asking you a question, Lou. Did you win any money on that game? Oh, you're muted. You're muted.
I had the over in the game, and I had Indiana. All they had to do was win -1/2. I teased them down with Seattle
Nice.
on Saturday, so that was it. Yeah, $50.
Look at Lou. He gets the Grey Cup in Canada. He gets the college. You're working on your NFLs now. The spread for the playoffs.
Could be tough. I think it's gonna be all NFC, so we'll see.
I'm riding Lou all the way to the bank.
Yeah.
Well, hey guys, I hope you guys, everyone out there is having a great night. It's cold here in the Central Valley today. Fog is back. It never lifted. I think it's going to be socked in here for the next few days. It's wintertime, man. What do you expect? But with that being said, guys, do you hear that? I hear the tick-tock of the clock ticking away. We are like 3 weeks away, guy. 3 weeks from freaking pitchers and catchers reporting.
I know. The
the
Giants
spring
doing
training.
Giants things, Eric.
What? Right? We are. Yes, a lot of crickets going at 100% Glenn. Guys, a little bit later, the link is in the description, but John Shea had a great article today in the San Francisco Standard. Again, he was kind of reiterating what we've been saying quite often here on the show, and we'll get more into it. But look, the time is there's not much left of it. So if the Giants are going to make any type of move, it's going to have to be soon. Otherwise, and again, beating a dead horse, whatever you want to call it, hey, this is what they're rolling with. Said it yesterday, right? What you see is what you get. So I don't know. I don't know what to expect, Glenn. Let me ask you, Glenn, do you expect Buster Posey, because he did this last year with Devers, where it came out of nowhere. Do you think he's got something in his bag of tricks, so to speak, where he's going to surprise us all? Or you think it's just, hey, this is what the team's going to be?
Absolutely not. I gotcha.
I knew where you're going. Oh, Davis.
Oh, my God. Like they say on Little House on the Prairie, Eric, this earthly life's a battle. If it isn't one thing to contend with, it's another. They get you all riled up, don't they, every year? I'm not making this up myself, Eric. At the end of the season, and, we kind of get the playoffs out of the way, we're going to work behind the scenes to build something. We're going to work the phones. Eric, it's the same old every year, and the fans fall for it. We here at Giant Sports Talk Live aren't falling for this anymore, Eric. Heard a great line today, and it went something like, it really summed up the San Francisco Giants. Now I should have wrote it down. I didn't take that in my notebook today. It said, I'll come up with it a bit later on in the show. I'm going to keep everybody hanging for what it.
Oh, there you go. A little
There you
cliffhanger.
go. I'm just going to keep everybody on the edge of their seat. But you know, I think the toughest thing for me is it's a juggling match, Eric, because you know I've heard other people say that it's our fault. We go out and we support the product. We buy our tickets. You know, you buy a $5 ticket, you get what you pay for. But
Right.
I'm a baseball fan, Eric. I want to watch some baseball. I want to
Right.
go out live. I want to have some peanuts and Cracker Jacks and hot dogs and some margaritas at the ballpark. I know they're not Tommy's, but you know it is what it is. They lead you down this path, Eric, and it's nothing but the same old BS every year. Well, you tell me, when was the last time we really had an off season? I know last year Adamas, okay, but
Yeah.
when did we use an off season to really bona fide make the team a lot better? I just haven't seen it for a long time.
Honestly, the last one, and Lou, tell me if I'm wrong. I think the last big off season there was, and I can't remember. They were off by a year. Do you remember when they traded for? There was two guys. They traded for Longoria and they traded for McCutcheon. Remember that one, Lou? And
Really
then,
didn't help us.
And then for free agents, remember when they signed Johnny Cueto and Jeff Samardzija? Those were the last 2 years. And I can't remember. Were they in the same year? I thought they were off by
no,
one.
they were the same year.
It was all the same year.
pictures, yeah.
But Lou, did it really help us?
It was a huge offseason.
Yeah, but they really didn't help us. I mean, McCutcheon, that had to be his worst year in Major League Baseball. And
he had
out.
one moment as a Giant, and when he walked it
First
off
week of the
against the
season,
Dodgers.
walked off.
Yeah, remember that? What was that, like a freaking 14-inning game or
In
something
May,
like
yeah.
that? But that's probably the last time the Giants had a really big offseason to try to improve the club. It didn't work out.
Well, they tried. But I mean, I want to go back to what I said, Eric. When was the last time we actually had an offseason where you really built things up and you created a winning atmosphere, winning team? It just, we're picking up, Lou, your crumbs.
And let me hear from you, Lou. I mean, do you foresee? It's hard, really, because we're not involved in the negotiations or what's going on behind closed doors. But they can't. Let me ask you this, Lou. They can't be looking in the mirror and say, "This is the team we're going to go out there and get into the playoffs with." They can't, right?
Well, I think about what Marty said. They have faith in their youth. Here's my thing. I don't have faith in the youth. I don't understand it because they're making Eldridge better than he is. We know in the offseason through what we hear, his defense has gotten worse. We still don't have a second baseman. I think what's amazing is people think Eldridge is better than he is. So let's just keep it at that until he proves me wrong. A lot of people don't like Casey Schmidt. I know Dan loves Casey Schmidt, and that's fine. But a lot of people don't like Casey because he does sort of like half the job. He's got a great arm, probably a better third baseman, but he plays at second. Guy's always injured. He's under the knife now. And then when you look at our outfield. We have a guy who we think is going to be better because he has another year in left field. He was one of the worst left fielders in all the major leagues. How is he going to be better? Of course he has to be better because he was one of the worst. Okay?
All the way is up, right, Lou?
Yeah. Then we have a center fielder that will be his second year in the majors. I'm not saying that Lee can't hit, but I was not impressed with his defense. And we know with all the numbers, he was one of the worst defenders, center fielders in baseball. Then we got Mr. Pom-Pom in right. Okay. I think it's a downgrade because I thought Yaz was a decent right fielder defensively.
Defensively, he's great. Yeah.
He would make some incredible plays, decent arm. And I think, with Yaz, he wowould go 2 weeks being flavor of the week, and then he would just strike out, like 2/3 of the time. He was the only guy, I think, in our lineup when you saw him by, the 5 minutes he was with us. I think he batted every position. I really do. I think he was lead off a couple times. I think he was second. Then they put him to fourth, then second. and then he was fifth, and then he's sixth, seventh. I mean, it's bad. The problem with this team is everybody above us, just in our division, are better than last year. We are hoping, and the problem is it's okay to hope for one position, but we're hoping for numerous. We're hoping for our fifth starter. We're hoping for our guy that can come in and give us 4 innings, long relief. We're hoping our ninth inning guy, who I don't really know who it is now, because the guy we had last year was so inconsistent, being a closer. We don't really have an 8th inning guy. We just have too many ifs, and it's hard to really think somebody. And again, I think we talked about this yesterday. There's 26 guys on our 40-man roster of pitchers. There probably should be like 16. When you have that many, you're just hoping it sticks on the wall when you throw it. And, you're not going to win. And I think the other thing is you have literally 4 or 5 veterans, and then you have all the youth. It's got to be a little bit more closer, half and half. And I believe it's just a problem. And, again, I don't mean to make excuses, but that's what the Giants are doing. Oh, we're going to put it on the youth. And then if it doesn't work out, they'll use this excuse. Well, they got another year of them being wet. They'll be better when we come back. It's the same thing with Tony V. We tried with him, but now he's got his 2nd year. And Buster's going to have his 4th year. All these things, but it's not going to produce anything. So,
yeah.
Does Lou agree with me? What I said in the monologue, the opener, the fact that the Giants sort of string you along, and listening to Zach on KMBR and how he's I mean, is he just BSing us? I mean, that line I couldn't come up with off the top of my head earlier. They think we can't separate the facts from the fertilizer because, well, we think these young players are going to step up. Come on. You got the only way you win, Eric, is with a solid ball club. And you said last night, I watched part of the replay today. Eric said, we got good ball players. You don't win with good ball players. You need great ball players.
Yeah. You're not lying. Hey, let's talk about, I'm going to ask the chat this. Again, if you're not a Giants fan, you can partake if you want. And Glenn and Lou, you each have to get
Eric,
part of this.
I forget, what was the total last night? Because I saw there was, you did have a little thing up there. How did it wind up? Oh, sorry. How did your poll wind up? I forgot to ask you at the end of the night. You had a poll up.
I think, that was the one. What the hell was it? It wound up being like 68%. What was it?
I think it's, do you think we're happy with the season? Are you okay with our off season?
Oh, the post. Okay, let me bring that up. Yeah. Before that, though, my God. Look at this guy, Jay.
Eric's not going to be here and step to the rear of the bus.
Oh, my God. Jay donates $50. Thanks, Glenn, Jay. Eric, and Lou. The GOATs on Giants Sports Talk Live. Giants aren't going to do well. 76. And this guy's a diehard Giants fan. Look, there's a lot of people, and I've seen this in the chat too.
Is Jake from the Bay Area?
Yeah, he lives in Santa Cruz, as a matter of fact.
Well, he better show up for our
you better show up, Jay.
Together in March.
Middle of March. Keep middle of March open. Hey, I see you out there, Will Martinez. Middle of March. Keep that open if you can, because we're going to have something special over at Tommy's Mexican in San Francisco. What is that in the what district is that? It's on Gary, but what district is that in San Francisco?
24th and Gary. In fact, tomorrow they're doing the power outage there. What is that area?
I can't remember. But yeah.
It's the Outer Sunset area. Outer Sunset.
My God. Absolutely, so I'm going to be there, Rosemont.
Eric's off the bus, and he's on the big boy.
Dude, I'm going.
You're on the big boy tonight,
That's right, baby. That's right.
Got the shirt on tonight. I love it.
I got there, man, dude.
Love that. Sure fits good too.
There's 3 locomotives that I really like, and that's one of them. But
show the boys the shirt I got you.
Oh, I don't know. This is a different one.
I wore
that one. Yeah, it's a different one. The one that you sent me, I wore a couple of days ago, so I'll have to. I'll
Did you put it in the light for a little while? I told you it glows in the dark.
Yeah, it glows in the dark. I haven't done that.
So your wife will find you if the power goes out in your area up there.
Eric, the Richmond area. The Richmond. Yeah, very good. Thank you. Thank you, Marcus.
Perfect. Awesome. But I'm going to pose this question to the chat and to you guys. And again, Jay, gosh dang, man. My God, dude. Anyways, If you had the chance right now with the available guys, whether it's trade or free agent, what is the one move that you want to see the Giants get done tonight? If they had if the move can happen now, what is that move? So I want to hear what the chat has to say. What is the one move that you would love to see the Giants do immediately? And I'm posing the question to you, Glenn and Lou. Glenn, right now, what would be the move for you with the San Francisco Giants?
Oakland, and get us a good ball club over in San Francisco. How about that?
Okay. All right, then. There you go.
I'm coming in hard tonight, Eric.
There you go.
About that? What do you think, Lou? I got to think about that. You know what, Eric? That's a tough question because, Lou, isn't it just too much? Can you really throw the dart at that one thing? There's just too much on the plate you got to deal with.
If you could get that one guy, okay, I'm seeing it out here. Listen, okay, they're starting to come in. I'm seeing your trade Chapman and Devers to the Yankees for a ton of prospects. Bellinger, Benji says Bellinger. JK says a closer. That's going to be tough. I don't know how you're going to get.
What do you think,
one.
Eric? Bellinger?
Valdez right now. Valdez and Bellinger. David Yu. Bramber says Cole. Valdez says Carlos. What's up, Carlos? Trade for Peralta, says George. Just Minks Peralta. Valdez and Bailey. Donovan trade. Man, got a lot of Peraltas, a lot of Valdez. Lou, what is it right now?
I am trading Robbie Ray to Milwaukee for 3 players.
3?
Peralta and one of their other starters, and they have a young gun as 8th inning guy. So you're trading one guy who's not going to be with us next year. You're going to get Peralta, a little bit younger, another pitcher, and another arm in the bullpen.
Wow,
look at that. Like that.
Wouldn't that be a step back for Milwaukee? Why would you trade pitchers for a pitcher?
Well, because, they've already tried to trade Peralta, so he doesn't really want to be there. So why don't you get Ray?
Give me a minute.
If it works out, you can sign him. If not, you took a shot. You need a little bit veteran. Plus, you got to try to remember, in their division that they won last year, people forget, they traded a lot. And, maybe getting a lefty is the difference between them and the Cubs. You got to think outside the box. That's the one thing I think the Giants aren't doing. Because, why not?
I like the idea of getting rid of Bailey. I like the idea of getting rid of Bailey. And you've heard me right from the get-go, Eric. And all this talk about Bellinger, I keep harping on it. But my thought on that, Eric, is if you didn't want him when he was cheap, I mean, why are you going to pay all this money now? You had your shot. That train has left the platform, Eric.
All right. Okay, I tell you what. Why not, dude? Because, hey, this is our show, and I could say whatever the hell I want. All right. Yeah. What did I say yesterday? There was 3 things I mentioned about the Giants yesterday. Can anyone remember what I was saying about the Giants yesterday? Where are they? Okay, let's talk about it. Media market. Where is the San Francisco Bay Area ranked? They're ranked 9th, right? In the entire nation, they're ranked 9th. Okay. Where are they on the richest clubs in baseball? 5th. How many baseball teams are in the San Francisco Bay Area? 1. Holy crap. So what do they have a lot of?
So does that mean we're number 1?
Yeah, right. We're number 1.
Number 1 in our
They got a lot of money, don't they? You know what? What the hell? Hey, I'm going to get good use out of this. Just pull out the stops. Get the shit done. They're nowhere close in their arbitration hearings. One side is saying 32 million. The other side is saying 19. I say the Giants swoop in and get this shit done.
As I said before, we're most definitely open to trying to add some arms that we think are going to help us on the starting side.
not?
We're back on
Why
that
not?
train.
Why not? Just empty it. Empty it. And go get freaking Scooble. Why the hell not, man? Hey, look, Dodgers went out there and they got a bunch of freaking lefties right in the lineup. In Arizona, you got to worry about Corbin Carroll. And who else? There's someone else in there. I thought there was a lefty that you had to watch. Oh, I think it was McCarthy. He's the speed.
And they still got Martell, and they got
You turn him around to the right side. He actually hits better on the left than he does on the right, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, you two are on both sides of the coin.
Come on, man, why not?
If you want Scooble, that kind of that's a write-off now for Lou's idea, because if you get Scooble, you got to go all pitching and you got to keep Robbie Ray.
Yeah, that's
or at least the duration.
I tell you what the hell,
deadline.
And I tell you, look, did you guys see? You guys saw the news, right, with the arbitration between Scooble and the Detroit Tigers? They're nowhere close. Nowhere close. And what is Detroit doing? They didn't do anything. They're not doing anything. They're running with the same guys that they ran out there last year. They didn't improve. They're not trying to, quote unquote, go for it. Come on, man. We all know the Giants can afford it. I don't want to hear this shit. I don't want to. I'm tired of the excuses. The Giants can do this.
Lou, if you think they should move Robbie Ray, my question now to Lou would be, do they wait till the trade deadline or do you get it done earlier? Well, you said today, but do you think he goes right through to the deadline, or do you think they just move off him?
I think with someone that's coming off an injury, you're not sure how he's going to be. I always think if you can trade someone earlier, you can always get better value. Now that doesn't mean at the trade deadline there might be someone like the Yankees or the Red Sox that might be close enough and they might give you prospects. But, I want a guy that's going to help the ball team. I want someone that is, going to improve the team. And the other thing, too, is I can't have another year going where Ray's going to say, oh, he's going to stay. He loves the city. And then they walk, And I think it's one of those things because the Giants and Buster don't have kahunas to trade Webb. We know that. They're going to they will wait until Webb to the very last second because they don't have a sack. The Giants leadership. Plus, when you really get rid of Webb, who do you have that's worth going to the ballpark a second time? I mean, the Giants are great and everything, but, and it's one of those things. I mean, Lee, let me put it this way. The people that root for Lee aren't real fans, okay? It's a gimmick, sort of like when the panda was there, the panda hat, and then with the giraffe with belt, everything's a gimmick. But if Lee, you got to remember, I don't know if it's this year or next year, Lee's got an opt-out. I'm going to get upset if Lee's batting .240 and still makes errors and we have a losing record. I think those people are fucking idiots, okay? They all sit together. They have that horrible thing. And for winning, it's one thing. But when we're losing, I don't want to hear it every time he comes up, especially if he strikes out 2 times before with runners on, or he does his usual grounder to second, very soft grounder to second. I think what they need right now is they need something huge. I really think they got to do something. Now, you got to remember the one thing about Devers' trade last year, we were caught off guard, but we had a losing record with Devers. So I don't know if that ruined the chemistry, but we had a losing record with Devers. I like Devers because I love the way he stands, and it always looks like he might hit one out. I'm hoping he improves. Again, he might be one of these guys, and what I said a lot is the ballpark in Boston fit him perfectly being a lefty. I don't know how many times he probably hit double off the wall, where he could use the green monster to his advantage. I know the day he got traded, he had 2 homers. They were both over the green monster. It wasn't like he, hit him to right. So I think it takes a while to adjust the ballparks. So I hope this year we can see a lot more pull hitting. A couple of his homers get wet. But if not, that's another disaster because you got to remember, we got him because Boston wanted to get rid of the contract. Yeah. So, you sort of need something. Now, I liked it. I thought it was a good move. But again, losing record. I think the Giants right now need a new face, a new superstar. That's just me.
I hear what you're saying. And look, Endeavors, he's a guy that's going to attract people to the ballpark. There's no doubt about it. But he needs some help, right? He does. He needs some help in that lineup. And it would be nice to see the Giants get another bat. But I want the pitching, man. I want the pitching. We saw what the club did last year when their pitching was fantastic. Ray and Webb was carrying that rotation in the first half of the season. Second half, they started getting a little bit tired, right? That happens. They went on that little run in August, which was fantastic. And again, a lot of that was because freaking Dom Smith, the guy was just freaking playing out of his mind during that period until he pulled his hammy. But man, I just want to see, and I saw Architect. You're correct, man. Yes, it would be nice to have the Giants be able to try to do that. But realistically, they're probably not, right? They're probably not.
You brought up, some good points, and I see somebody in the chat said, "Why can't we just screw getting the ace pitcher and get some mid-tier pitchers?" But isn't that the problem, guys? We're a mid-tier team. We're not getting any better picking up mid-tier and crumbs. And again, you say we're going to make this big move. There's still time, but I said it over a month ago. Said with every passing day, another name come off the big board and another name and another name. I'm like, you're no longer doing this. You're looking down there. Where's the talent is all drying up. I mean, there's still good players. Don't get me wrong. That can help the San Francisco Giants. But to make that leap, I agree with Lou. You got to get a star. And there's never, even with Devers, I mean, I think with Devers, there's the possibility the fans will come to see him based on what he does. If he's slow and he's not, bombing them he doesn't hit 42 home runs, I don't know if they're going to buy in. They need a superstar. I've said it before, Lou, I'll say it again. When you go over, the only reason to buy $5 tickets, it's a $5 product. There's no one I need to go, I must go to the ballpark today. I got to see this game. I got to see this. Last time it happened for me was Birdsong's first start at Oracle Park, and he struck out 12 or 13 batters in about 5 innings. That was the last time I ran to the ballpark. I got to see tonight's game.
Yeah, they gotta make Oracle more of a destination for the players and the product on the field. Oracle, hey, still a great ballpark. I enjoy it quite a bit. It's just everything has changed. It's gotten old. I think the Giants, what they got to start doing is, hey, Tony C, what's up? Is you got to get somebody there because the average player, I mean, I'm just looking at the schedule. They go for the giveaways. That's wrong. You're going to go to opening day because it's opening day, and that's fine. But, the guy that goes opening day, he's not going to go see the Padres or Detroit. I mean, imagine if Detroit's playing and Scooble's actually pitching. People will go, but say he pitches the Thursday before and he knows he's not pitching on the weekend, those tickets are going to be useless. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things. But I think they got to do something because they can't bring back the team hoping for so many holes, to cure up. It's just not possible. I mean, they might get lucky on a couple of players, but we have probably several holes we need to fill. So
yeah, you know what else, Lou? And Eric, I know you're going to agree with me because you've been there on a ball game day, a live day at Oracle Park with me when this happened. What are the San Francisco Giants? They know their product. They know their product. And what do? They roll out the big gimmick giveaways when they're playing Chicago and they're playing Miami because that's the only way to get them in the door.
Yeah.
That's when you find the big giveaways. It's always when the weaker sisters come to town. Because especially when the White Sox or Marlins come to town on a Monday night. Oh, God.
Hey, remember this on the weekend?
And how bad was it, Eric? You couldn't even give it away.
And who are they playing? Who are they playing? They're playing the Marlins on that.
They have 3 Hello Kitty giveaways this year. I mean, it's
I saw that.
And Lou, does that Hello Kitty Day? Bernice loves it. Okay, and she's a ball fan, but realistically, that's not directed to your fanatical ball fans.
I'm going to say something.
That don't come to the ballpark.
The problem with the Giants, they're just like a lot of the Giants fans. The Giants are not good enough that nobody cannot be traded. We make Eldridge, oh, he's untradeable. What do you mean he's untradeable? The guy had great minor leagues, but he wasn't impressive last year.
The third rail, Lou. You're touching the third rail.
Right? The other thing, Lee, how can you say he's not untradeable? Everybody on our Giants roster should be up for a trade, okay? The Giants won't trade Webb. Ray, they should already be talking because he's not coming back next year. Eldridge, hey, if somebody wants to give you 2 or 3 prospects, which we need for a guy that's unproven, it shouldn't even be a consistent. Who cares? You know, the problem is the Giants fans, except for one bad trade, I'm going to tell you right now, one bad trade when we needed it back, I believe it was 2011 or it was 2013 when we traded a stud pitcher, right? Every other prospect that is supposed to be so good have been flops. How do we think Eldridge is going to be so good when everyone we've had have been flops? You're telling me Ramos is a great player? He's lucky to even be here. He wasn't even supposed to play if Lee didn't get injured. Okay? All these guys, former, we get catchers, we get that. Now, I think the international players are different, okay? Because those guys show talent and they play against guys older. By the time they come here, I think they're probably above average players. But my God, we talked about Harrison last year. He was the next Mad Bum. Just saying that, people cannot be more idiotic. Okay, Mad Bum was once in a lifetime. Okay, the Freak, once in 20 years. None of these other pitchers are going to be like that. So get that out of your head. Okay, we have been talking about prospects. Okay. And prospects are usually suspects. If Harrison was so good, why did we get rid of him after 1 year? Okay, he couldn't find the plate. It's same thing. Oh, Bailey's so great. He's not a great. And again, we talked about this other night. With the framing thing, his trade value has probably gone down for framing. Maybe. Doesn't mean anything. At the Giants, with what they have now and what they got to compete, if they're going to be cheap, then they got to start thinking of trades. You got to try to trade somebody good. And the other thing, too, is we might think Eldridge is a 10 on our team, but other teams might think he's an 8. You know what I mean? We all think because they're one of our own how great we are. It's not like father and son or your family. I know they're family members, but you know what? Most of these guys, if you saw last year when we needed help, we saw how guys could hit AAA ball. But as soon as they came to the majors, it was a disaster.
That's the halo effect, right? Everybody has it. Everybody has the halo effect. If you're rooting for a certain team, oh, man, this guy, Dodger fans, right? What were you guys thinking about, what was it, Josiah Gray, who wound up trading into the Nationals? Was he one of the – I wouldn't be surprised if there's Dodger fans saying that he's probably the next freaking whoever, the next damn oh, God, I can't even think of his damn name. But anyways –
Giants can't even go that route, though, Eric. The problem is they can't even build a minor league system, the San Francisco Giants, to compete with teams like the Dodgers. Dodgers have a better team. They spend more money, and they got a better scouting staff, obviously.
They got a better farm system.
They're better
aspects
off the field. That's why they're the best team on field.
Yeah. Diego Cartaya and Miguel Vargas. I guarantee you there's a bunch of Dodger fans out there saying, oh, you can't get rid of them. Well, what did they wind up turning into? Nothing, right? Matter of fact, the Giants picked up Cartaya last year on a minor league deal, and he's not even in the organization anymore. Oh, shit, man. I lost that. I didn't mean to lose it.
I agree with Burrito, man.
Hold on.
Reason we can't make trades is nobody wants them.
Son of a bitch. Hold on. Where the hell did it go? Damn it. It was a good comment by
who are you looking for?
Oh my gosh. Let me find it real quick. I went and screwed it up. I kept it up there. It was Architect. No, George Corey. Where are you at, buddy? George Corey. I'll find you.
I'll tell you what, you do that, we'll do this.
Giants Sports Talk Live, brought to you by Lefties in Burlingame. Visit Lefties for all of your Giants collecting needs. By GenesisGoldIRA.com, signatures for soldiers. Duxwell Printing, for all of your printing needs in the Bay Area. Visit Duxwell Printing at 37 Wentworth Place in San Francisco. And by BetterCreditCards.com, for the best credit card choice for you. Visit BetterCreditCards.com. Covering the San Francisco Giants nightly online. We are Giant Sports Talk Live. Now, back to Eric and Glenn.
And we
All right,
welcome
here we
in Tommy's. Tommy's is the newest sponsor, and they're going to be on board all year long.
Yeah, there you go. George Corey, look at this. He did a hybrid approach there, Glue. He agrees with on Ray. He wants to both sign and trade, and I'm good with that. Giants should sign Valdez, right? Okay, there you go. You got your lefty that you need. Trade Schmidt, Roop, and Gilbert for Peralta. Hey, I'm okay with that. Then trade Ray to the Mets or the Orioles for salary relief. Okay. Trade Wisenhunt, Rainer Arias, and Brito. I don't know who Brito is. To the Astros for their setup man, Brian Abreu. There's nothing wrong with that, right? I don't think Giants fans would have any issue with that. That seems... Hell, you get rid of Ray, but you pick up Valdez and Peralta. So you got your three-headed monster. And then on top of that, you also got a setup man in Brian Abreu. And look, maybe you wind up making him the closer instead of being a setup man as for the Giants. And there you go. Why not?
You know, the problem with that there, Eric, as Leonard Nimoy would say, I find that highly illogical. Because they can't get one deal done. Well, here's to this. I mean, it ain't.
Here's the thing.
That's the problem.
Now, here's the problem. You could sign Valdez. You just got to offer the most money, right? Now, Schmidt, Roop, and Gilbert for Peralta, they might want more than that. Trading Ray to the Mets or the Orioles, that I could see that. I could totally see the Giants trading Ray because both the Mets and the Orioles need a starting pitcher. And if you get Ray for 1 year at $25 million, that's okay.
If I'm going to trade him to the Orioles, I want a catcher in return.
No. You trade him for salary relief. They take on the entire contract. So then you got more wiggle room to have Valdez because Valdez is going to cost you a pretty penny.
Are we going to get a catcher, though?
No, you keep the catcher. You got to keep Bailey. You can't. You're going to spend. You're not going to be able to do that. If you could go get Valdez and Peralta, my God.
Lou,
I'll take that all day.
Lou, what's your thoughts? Are we going to win at the end of the day with Bailey? I think this is we're going down the wrong road here.
That's the least of I'm sorry, it's the least of
our I think if you were to do this, the Giants would probably win 6 more games.
Okay.
Maybe 6. Now, again, I don't know if they're a playoff team. Then, if you were able to do this, because of the money you're saving, I would then probably – now, again, Glenn, I don't know if you're aware, but we have 4 catchers right now. We keep picking up these other guys.
Yeah, but we're picking up your crumbs, Lou.
I know.
And I got to disagree with Eric, and he knows I love him. But, Eric, how can you say that's the least of our problem? When Lou knows, when you go to place your bet, the team, when they've got more players playing than we do, that gives them an advantage. We lose games because we got a double-A quality hitting catcher.
Problem is the other guys have to step
left on the pond over the course of a season. We're not capitalizing.
If you're going to concentrate on pitching and defense, you're going to have to keep Bailey. You're going to have to suffer for his bat. You just are, because if you got him behind the dish for Webb, Valdez, and Peralta, again using George Corey's idea. My gosh, dude, that you want to talk about winning some damn games.
You know why I disagree again, and maybe it has nothing to do with the Giants. If you go back and you look at World Series.
Oh, I get you.
Or World Series champions. The team that is the best team has a hitting catcher, Eric.
They do. And then look, there's truth to that.
Defensive catchers don't win you World Series.
I am not disagreeing with what you have to say about that. I'm just saying, if you have you have to fix the rotation before you worry about the catcher. I think I'm just stratifying this shit, right?
And second, and right, and bullpen, and
right. That's what I'm saying.
We don't have a team. It's a problem. We don't have a quality team, Eric. Lou?
Hey, we got a couple of super chats from Prapa. What's up, Prapa? Hey, do me a favor, Prapa. I know you're a huge 49ers fan, but 49ers are done. Let's get the Giants logo on there, even though they suck right now. All right, just a little constructive criticism. If they're not going to get in a spending contest, they need to gut the roster and rebuild organically. We're the Steelers of the MLB definition of mid. Okay. And look, Prapa, if they came out and did that, I'll be okay then. Okay, then that's fine. Then just do it. But this is the problem I have, Prapa. Last year, the Giants had, with all the moves that they made, it looked like they had no indication whatsoever that they were trying to rebuild. It looked like, hey, Buster Posey wants to go out there and he wants to win. And there's no doubting that he wants to win. Again, I don't know if his hands are tied to a certain extent. But if they do that, okay then. But here's the problem. It's hard to gut a roster when you got guys with freaking no trade clauses. Right? And you got Chapman, who's only 1 year into his contract. You got Adames only 1 year into his contract. They're both of them getting ready to start their second. And both of them have a no trade clause. It's going to be, look, I'm telling you, man, it will look bad on Buster Posey if he goes out there and tries to talk to these guys to give up a no trade after only playing for the organization for 1 year. It's already difficult enough to try to get free agents here. What is that going to do to other potential free agents down the road where you can't believe what the Pobo says at the San Francisco Giants? It has all the makings of a shit sandwich. It does. And look,
you know what?
Did he get himself in this predicament? He did. So, hey, you made your bed. You're going to have to sleep in it. That's just the way it's going to have to go, at least for the next couple of years.
I agree with Eric. Time to move on from that San Francisco. Get a Giants logo up there, or Merchants or Mulligans or something. And
Tell you what, how about a Tommy Margarita? Put a Tommy Margarita there. Why not? He donates another $5, Glenn. He donated another $5. Devers, but then
keeps you off the bus. Keeps you off the bus.
But then being just as tight financially as they normally are just screams dysfunction. I've been saying that. Prapa. I've been saying that. I was like, there seems to be some kind of miscommunication going on. Either tank for long-term success or go all in.
Yeah, easy
right?
to say.
Come on, right? It's that simple. Why complicate the simple? Either you're going to go in and say, hey, this is what we're going to do, because the Giants can't do that. Again, I don't want to rehash, but the Giants have the economic freaking foundation to either go all in, or if you decide to go a different route and say, hey, we're going to just blow it up, well, then blow the damn thing up.
You know, you take a step back, Eric, and we look at the dysfunction in the bullpen, in the field, in the pitching staff, and every other department in the team, the promotions department. It's the same old Giants baseball. By the way, nice Eric Burden and the Animals haircut you got going there today. I think you hit the short back and sides there. Yeah, the old short back and sides. I like it. But the thing, if you take a step back and you think about it, the one underlying thing that really has me kind of pissed off before the season even starts, Eric, is the fact that the Giants are already on record as saying that, well, if it doesn't work out, we got a nice young manager, la-di-da-di-da. They're already setting the fans up with an excuse. And we're not even at spring training. The excuses are already being uttered. You agree?
Yes. Lou, right? Are you tired of the excuses? Rob Ivan donate. Hey, what's up, Rob? Haven't seen you in a while. Welcome back. Donates $2. Says same patterns since Greg Johnson has taken over. Right? Come on, Lou. Excuses got to be done. Mm-hmm. They got to be over.
I'm sick of the excuse central. I think the problem with the Giants is they don't want to admit failure. And, it's sort of weird because, they just had the first Fan Fest. And I know we talked about this the other night. And I saw videos that I sent you guys, and they said there were over 2,500 people there. A lie. I think what they do, and I'll use my little dating analogy, when you're 16 years old and you're dating a girl 15 or 16 years old, you're going to tell them what you think they want to hear. And I think the Giants right now are telling fans what they want to hear, even though it's not reality. I really think, because I never thought they would now be saying, well, we're going to stick with what we have, even though it's not a winning product, because we believe in our youth. My God. It's sort of, this is like Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, where no kids were allowed, where it's just, they're so full of it that now you're just used to them telling you crap. It's just one of those things. It's like, are you guys kidding me? And the other thing is, the Giants are talking to us like Giants fans are idiots. Okay, we don't know baseball. Guys like Greg Johnson, Larry Bird, we know baseball better than you. Okay, come on, guys, it's getting old. That's the problem. It's getting old. And I think it all comes back to the Giants of being greedy. They could have just had the land in the ballpark. No, we want to buy what's behind us, affecting the parking, affecting the fans. Don't worry. With all this money, we're going to have more money to spend. Okay. 3 years later, they're making more money, but they're not spending the money. The one thing that Larry Krueger said probably 3 years ago when, stuff like this was talking is this. Most teams spend 75% of what they make from the previous year. They use that on, stadium improvements, the farm system, the coaches, and the overall payroll. Giants aren't doing that this year. They're so hush-hush. Instead, what are they doing? Well, we have a bunch of young guys that are very cheap on the payroll, and we're going to give that a supply. Okay, then you know what? Announce that you guys are doing what the Orioles did. We're going to suffer for a couple years. We're going to go really young, and in 3 or 4 years, we're going to be better. Because right now, what they're saying is we're going to use the youth, but guess what? Eric and Glenn, hey, in 2030, we're going to have a championship team. Well, what the hell are we going to do for the next 4 years? You're admitting that this team's not that good and you want us to wait 4 years? Okay, well, then I don't want my season tickets for 4 years. You can't have your cake and eat it too. And like I said last year when Buster got hired, I think Buster's sort of a guinea pig. I think, when he went and got Devers, they all went to Greg Johnson. Hey, can you take the added salary? Is this it? Yes. Okay, they did. Now the offseason, they haven't spent money. In fact, Eric, I think you brought up last night, they're like $32 million that they're not using.
It's something that's somewhere around there.
And what's even more about that, if you say 32, let's add the Snell money that we're doing, which is really 14. So it's really like $45 million that we're not using to improve the team. To me, that's what sort of gets me upset. Because last year we didn't use all our money either.
No. What's Buster going to do, Eric, when we look at that April schedule? If we come out of Lou has laid it on the table. He's picking the under in April. He does not think they are going to be a winning franchise probably all year, but it is not going to be a good start to this year. Yankees, Mets, Phillies, Dodgers, all coming in. We're going on the road to play some of them. Eric, what are they trying? So if they're like, well, we have confidence and it ain't working, well, how are they going to backpedal on this? And what are they going to be chaos and trying to ship player move, make 100 moves to try to salvage something?
I don't know. Ibrahim makes a great point. Can a theater pay? Hey, I heard the Phantom of the Opera has a hell of a slider. That's what I've heard. Hey, guys, this is a perfect segue to get into an article. I sent it to both you guys earlier today. What John Shea had to say in the San Francisco Standard. So let's take a look at what John Shea had to say about the San Francisco Giants, guys. Again, the link to this article is in the description below. So you guys can read it on your own time whenever you want to. All right, here he goes. Time is running out for the Giants to make critical offseason upgrades. The gap between the Dodgers and the Giants continues to grow as Buster Posey's front office has done little to generate excitement among fans this winter.
Who wrote this, Eric?
John Shea.
Okay, I was afraid it was Susan Slusser.
John Shea.
Okay, you got my attention.
Who's left for the Giants? With spring training starting in 3 weeks, not only are the Giants running out of time to acquire players, they're running out of options. Indeed, if they're still serious about upgrading their 500-ish roster. Well, there you go. John Shea, this guy, he's been a stalwart for the Chronicle for years, right? He knows what he's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
He's calling this team a 500-ish ball club as currently constructed. So what are they going to do? Of course, Kyle Tucker goes to the Dodgers, yada, yada, yada. Bo Bichette goes to the Mets. Either one of them would have been a boon for the Giants or for a Giants team that has done little to excite the fan base, escalate ticket sales, or create good vibes approaching the 26th season. The Giants roster is so inferior to the rival Dodgers that it's not even a debate. And the gap has widened since the Dodgers won the World Series. Not only did they sign the best hitter on the market in Tucker, they snagged the best reliever in Edwin Diaz, also on a short-term deal. They'll be a popular pick to win another World Series, the first 3-peat since the 2000s, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Unless, talking about the Giants, unless they act quickly and decisively, but will they? Prior to that, they're projected to be buried again in the National League West. Talking about the Giants. The Giants' biggest acquisitions, aside from a purchase of the Curran Theater, which has become a running gag because it prompted fans to sarcastically suggest they're rooting for a real estate conglomerate more than a baseball team, right? Our pitchers, Adrian Hauser and Tyler Mahle. Both are proven big league starters, but neither has the star power that fans crave. Hey, look at this for a team with the resources. Resources. They got resources.
Racehorses?
The capital. They got money, man. They got the resources. In other words, you're the only team in town.
Oh.
You're in the 9th biggest media market. The capital. They got a lot of money. The history, right? San Francisco Giants. Well, I should say the Giants ball club has been around since 1883. The 7th highest attendance in the majors last season. And an energetic new manager, Tony Vitello, far more is expected. Far more should develop. Far more is needed. Oh,
resources. I thought you said racehorses, but it's more like a horse's ass, Eric. All of this is right on.
Yeah, Space I love this. Is a great article, man. So what's left? Still enough to significantly upgrade the roster, but passionate yet pessimistic fans are wondering whether the Giants will finally join other big market teams and invest top dollar on their lineup and pitching staff. Cody Bellinger is still out there, the top remaining hitter on the market. Should the Giants somehow shock the world and land his former National League MVP? Yeah, right. Is the expected response here? Fans would rejoice, give management a pass, and optimistically look forward to pitchers and catchers suiting up in Scottsdale on February 10th. Bellinger would fill a hole in the outfield, a hole in the lineup, a hole in the marketing landscape. He'd be the Giants' best defensive outfielder and second best left-handed hitter behind Rafi Devers. His impressive contact rate is exactly what Buster Posey desires. It's a stretch, but fans can dream, right? Hopes and dreams. There's also Framber Valdez, the best starting pitcher remaining. In fact, he was best all along. While Dylan Cease and Ranger Suarez and Michael King and Tatsuya Amai all signed, Valdez remains on the sidelines. Oracle Park, which would likely be a deterrent for a lefty swinging, pull hitting Bellinger, would be a benefit to Valdez. He's an elite ground ball pitcher, 60% career ground ball rate. Like Logan Webb, and he's durable and a workhorse like Webb. In fact, the only pitcher to throw more innings since 2022 than Valdez is Logan Webb. There you go, man. Come on. It's right there waiting for you. At least until Bellinger signs with the Mets or Yankees and Valdez signs somewhere else outside the Bay Area, the Giants ought to step up their communication level with these players. You never know. Ownership has expressed a preference for shorter-term contracts, and that's exactly what's trending with Tucker and the Bichette deals. Okay, right? Okay, let's talk a little bit about this glue, right? If you're going to go out, if you don't want long-term contracts, then give them a short contract, but you're going to have to pay them a shit ton of money. You can't have both things. You can't have a cheap AAV with short years, right? You can't. Or I should say with less years. The only way you offset the AAV is if you go long-term to spread out the money per se. But if you want to do a shorter-term deal, well, you're going to have to shell out a bunch of freaking money. That's all it's going to cost you. It ain't going to cost you any prospects, but it'll cost you some money. So here we go. Ownership has expressed a preference for shorter-term contract. Okay, wait. Granted, Bellinger supposedly is seeking 7 years, but Tucker and Bichette wanted longer deals too. Before the Dodgers and Mets offered annual paychecks for a whopping $60 and $42 million respectively. It's about overpaying in the short term for luxury of avoiding long-term consequences. Come on. I'm okay with that. For the Giants, it doesn't even have to be Bellinger or Valdez. They need more starting pitching. Zach Gallen is still out there. So is Lucas Giolito, even Chris Bassett. The bullpen could use more depth too beyond newcomers Sam Hinches and Jason Foley, who won't be ready until midseason. Harrison Bader coming off a solid offensive year. Supreme center fielder. Luis Arias isn't a sabermetrician's dream, but he's a 3-time batting champ with elite bat-to-ball skills and can play second base. Granted, his glove, not that good. Trade options. Freddie Peralta. Tariq Skubal. Trade talk isn't going away, but teams would need to jump in an extremely long line. Mackenzie Gore, anyone? There's continued talk of second baseman with Donovan. Nick O'Honer of the Cubs. Outfielder Stephen Kwan. Jared Duran of Boston. Again, those are some trade possibilities. I find that interesting. He says trade talk isn't going away with Tariq Skubal. I wonder what he's hearing. I wonder what John Shea is hearing about Skubal. Again, it doesn't look like Detroit and Skubal are going to be anywhere close in making a deal in the offseason. It ain't happening. I mean, they can't even come together in this arbitration stuff. Giants open the offseason with a lot of holes, still need patching. Fans hope the team's conservative approach won't last. They hope that June's Devers trade isn't the one big acquisition for 26. They hope the underwhelming offseason isn't about anticipating a labor shutdown. They hope a move or moves are still coming to upgrade the roster. All right. Adding players late in the spring isn't unprecedented, as in 2024 when they added Chapman and Snell and Jorge Soler and Nick Ahmed. None of them have stuck around except for Matt Chapman. Can the Giants afford to further ante up? Of course. Can the Giants afford to further to ante up? Of course. Again, the question is, will they? The cash is there, but the Giants would suggest there are conditions that accompany most of it. Fans love to point out that Forbes estimates the franchise at $4 billion, the 5th richest team in the major leagues, though that's a lucrative bonanza for another day, right? Yeah, that's if you decide to sell. The private equity firm Sixth Street invested in ownership, 10% stake, earmarked for stadium improvements and a Mission Rock development across the cove. Talking about the sports networks and the TV deals. Through it all, there's still room to conduct business and stay under the $244 million luxury tax. Yes, they had to pay the extra $17 million to Snell, who are on the hook for $10 million for the manager, $3.5 for Vitello, $3 for the buyout, $4 for Bob, who's getting a paycheck and not having a job. We've seen a wild stretch of spending that began last week when Alex Bregman signed with the Cubs following the Suarez deal with the Red Sox. Then came the Dodgers and the Mets. Here we go. For the Giants, time is limited. So are the options. With spring training around the corner, we shall soon learn which way they will go and which headlines they will make. Well, there you go. John Shea, guys. San Francisco Standard. Kind of reiterating a lot of the things that we're saying here on the show, a lot of things of what people are saying in the chat, a lot of people, what people are saying on Twitter about the Giants. I mean, it's out there.
Good article.
Come on.
Good article. But you know what I take away from it, Eric? Near the end of there was one line in there, but it summed up that we play it safe, which we do.
Yeah.
And then at the end of, there's still hope, before, even during the preseason when we can pick up guys, Eric, like Nick Ahmed and Soler. And I mean, what does that get you, though?
It got you nothing because guess what? Nick Ahmed was gone. Jorge Soler was traded.
We got Chapman, who half the fans wish we didn't even have right now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, get in early, get it done. We wanted that, Eric. Get in there, get something done. Don't lollygag, as my dad would say. Don't lollygag. Get her done, boy. Get her done. God. And again, the fan base, don't you think, Eric? They buy into this. They buy into
I don't think they are anymore. I think there's I got a feeling we're coming to a what do you want to say? A crossroads. Because I got a feeling
a lot of guys in our chat, Eric.
No, there isn't.
Sign one player and we're right on.
No, I don't think that's happening. I honestly, and Lou, let me ask you this. You know, John Shea, again, reiterating a lot of things that we're saying here on the show on a day in and day out, or on a night in, night out basis. I mean, it sounds like he's frustrated. He's saying all the things that I talked about yesterday, where they got they have the economic means to go out there and go big if they want to go big, but it seems like they're choosing not to.
So one thing about John Shea is he's not a homer. Okay,
he's not.
He does not work like Susan and Alex for the Giants. Okay, he's independent. I think he's working for the Athletic, which is completely different. You know, the one thing about KBR, a lot of people don't know, is the Giants own part of KBR. Okay. KBR now is lacking in ratings because there's such homers. So I like it when somebody goes out on the limb and speaks the way the fans feel.
Yeah.
I think, you know, the big thing is, if you remember, I think it was last year when the A's moved to Sacramento, Susan said in 2030, the Giants are going to have $500 million to spend and no competition. Okay. Again, it's 2026. I'm not waiting 4 years until the Giants do something. I think one of the things too is why we're upset is I don't know if you guys remember, but we just came off the World Series. So in my off time, I do watch a lot of shows, but everyone says the Dodgers are buying championships. No, they're spending money wisely. Okay. Do you guys remember, both of you guys, what the batting averages of the Los Angeles Dodgers were in the World Series? And Toronto.
That's a good question.
Toronto as a team batted .267.
Bat on the ball.
Every year, probably 95% of the time, they should have won Game 7, and they should have won the World Series. The Dodgers batted .208. 208.
Mm-hmm.
So if you take away Yamamoto's, who pitched great,
right,
and they had a secret weapon as a closer. If you remember, Yamamoto went for 300 for, I think it was 10 years or maybe 12 years. But see, that's money spent wisely. He's now bought in a championship. When you think about the Giants, everyone talked about Nick Zito having the worst contract of all time. He won us a World Series, so the contract pays itself. So when you're the Dodgers, and you admit, hey, we got lucky to win Game 7. It was on the road. We batted .208. We need an outfielder. Well, why not pay Tucker 4 years, whatever, $50 million a year? That's smart business. The one thing about the Giants is, you know, since 2016, so we're talking 10 years, we got lucky 1 year. If you're a CFO of a company and you have one winning year out of 10, you should be fired. But that's not how it works in baseball.
Right.
You know, Larry Baer will never leave the Giants because he's the CEO, has the press job. Everyone appreciates what he did 10 years ago. The problem is, if the Giants were like the Packers, where they were publicly traded, he would be gone. Why? He bought in Farhan. Horrible move. Disaster. He's bought in right now Manaya. Horrible. Guy admits nobody should have a job where you're the GM and you say, I'm still learning on the job. Give me a chance. You hire Buster for a name, no experience. You now have a manager, no experience. Well, if you keep bringing people in that aren't doing the job, the people hiring, which I think Larry Bear usually signs the checks, he's got to be gone. And the problem is it's the same thing. We right now are in love with our own players, okay? We bring in guys to do the Giants. We have a former pitcher for the Giants, Kruko, former player, Kuiper, right? Dave Fleming at least earned the job to be an announcer, okay? Our Hall of Famer guy wasn't the Giants. That was probably the biggest hire that Glenn asked. Hey, can you remember one of the best free agencies? That was when we got our Hall of Fame announcer. Okay. Every one of Buster's friends from 10 years ago that played are advisories. Right now, Eric, we talked about the Giants haven't decided who the first or third baseman is. And Marty said it's because they want Washington. Washington's 89 years old. 89 years old, and they want him to coach third? My God, stop bringing these guys back. I'd rather they bring guys in that maybe we never heard of. Like if you're going to bring somebody in, bring somebody recent, not 10, 12 years ago, because baseball's changed. And the problem with the Giants is once they bring you in, we'll bring you as an advisory. I mean, this offseason, I think we probably have had 7 acquisitions. 2 of the guys are no longer with us, so say 5. But I think we probably have had 15 people. Come on, join the party, the advisory board. My God, how many advisories do we have? It's one team, 26 guys. And the problem is the Giants fall in love, and it's like a bad relationship. Oh, don't worry, he'll improve. Yeah, but he drinks. No, I'll get him off it. Oh, but he gambles. Oh, no, I'll work with him. We need a new structure for the Giants. It's got to be done because you can't keep talking about how great the ballpark is. The ballpark's over 20 years old. They haven't really done anything. The Dodgers redid their whole stadium for the fans. Okay? What do? We have a new slide in the mitt. What is that going to do to the average fan? No one cares about that. I'd rather they redo the little baseball stadium. It's just got to the point where they're going off, how we were in 2020. Oh, it was 5 years ago. Lou, the Giants won 107 games. I don't care. We didn't go anywhere. We didn't get the ring. Yeah, but Lou, 10 years ago, we were in the playoffs. We got to game 5. But we didn't win. It's got to a point now where they got to stop and start thinking of the future. Because if they're going to keep charging, now we're all not as lucky to get seats like Glenn for $5. But if you're a season ticket holder, or if you're a corporation where you go in and you buy suites, you got to get the money that you're paying for. You got to give me a good product I'm paying. Or you know what? You'll do it once, but you're not going to get me second or third time. So, I just think it's important where I think we give the Giants way too many breaks. Yeah, but the Giants won 3 and 5. Do you know what happens if the Dodgers win next year? Nobody's ever going to bring up 3 and 5 years. The Dodgers are going to go, who cares? We won 3 in a row.
I know.
3 teams. You guys mean nothing to me.
Right.
And we're not going to be able to hold that over everybody else. It's just one of those things. It's like,
Dodgers got to, hey, hold my beer. Wisely. Hold my beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lou, I told you a couple of weeks ago. What was the highlight of my year last year?
Well, there you go.
Bring back the best mascot, the crab. The
crab running around the field on mascot. You know what? I know it was Lucille's day, but they should have thought twice about bringing in the crab for that because he stole.
Crab took over.
Show. He stole the show, man. Stole the show.
I tell you what, though.
But that has nothing to do with baseball, and it still got me fired up, Eric. That was, again, this is why the product, the product's not the thing that's whipping us up into a frenzy.
You know what you need to do? You need to take a deep breath. Into the nose.
What do I need
out through the mouth. And you know what? Hey, on top of that, how about we enjoy some good times at a fantastic establishment? Woo! Mexican restaurant, home
Yeah.
of the world famous Tommy Margarita. Again, hey, in the middle of March, guys, so we'll talk more about it as we get closer to it. We can all gather around and have a big powwow and figure out how to fix our lowly Giants. Well, by that time, it's going to be almost time for the season to start. But hey, why not?
Now that we got him on as a sponsor, you know what I'm going to do, Eric? It may embarrass me a little bit, but you know me, I don't give a rat's ass. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be that guy who gets off the WestJet flight. My next, I love Mexico 2-3 times a year. I'm going to be that guy who gets off the WestJet flight with a great big sombrero that I buy at the airport.
Hey, there you go.
And I'm going to wear it on the show every night we lose because it's the best part of the show, Tommy's. I'm telling you.
Oh, man. It's good. It's sombrero night, huh? Sombrero night on the free Giant Sports Talk Live.
This team is so bad, Eric. I'll be wearing this all year because when it rains,
it pours.
It pours. I'm going to have my sou'wester on, getting ready for the Noah's. I'm going to be building Noah's Ark by the middle of April, Eric.
Oh, my gosh.
Bernice is like, what are you buying that for? I'm like, oh, love that hat. Reminds me of down home in Cape Breton.
I tell you what, though, that's going to be that's probably going to be highlighted unless, again, the Giants, if they don't do much, man, that's going to be right. That's going to be the story of the season. Just hanging out with
Tommy's?
Yeah. That's going to be the thing, man.
We can lose. At least we'll feel no pain.
Man, I tell you what, the post games, we may be concentrating more on the rest of the league. We'll talk about 5 minutes worth of Giants baseball, and then all of a sudden we're talking about other teams rather than the damn Giants. That may wind up being the.
Or like Armand said the other night on Friday night show, or was it Friday night? He says, "Let's do Sharks hockey."
Yeah, right.
They're winning. They won again tonight to beat Florida. What a game, too. What a game.
Was that the one where both goalies started fighting?
They were haymakers. I loved it. Dude, I love it.
Goalies? That's interesting.
Yeah.
How do you piss off the other goalie anyways?
And the football was good. It was a good night for sports. Then we had to talk with the Giants. I guess part of the show.
Yeah, I know. Well, look, it is what it is. Well, guys, we'll be back Wednesday night. It's time to wrap up the show. Any parting words, Glenn? Any parting words?
The party's over. Time to call it a day. I don't know. I'm going to go watch Little House on the Prairie, Eric.
Why not?
Doze off. Watching, I don't know which episode. Maybe you know what? I know we're into January. I'm going to watch a little Christmas episode.
There you go. Those are good ones. They're all good.
I throw on, the one Christmas at Plum Creek.
Yeah, it's a great one. Best one.
I'm going to put on my red mittens, and my Mexican hat.
Lou, final words. What you got, man?
You know what? Tonight, I just really wanted to say thanks for the chat. And I wanted to thank two guys specifically. And that's Jay Chase. Very nice. Thank you. Thank you for the donation. And Propa. And I think the key thing is it's not the donation, it's what they're talking about. You know what I mean?
Correct.
When you have a good topic, it really gets the ball rolling. But, really just want to say thanks for the donations. And, hopefully we can see you guys. Because, one of the things, it was great where I got a chance to really go out with Glenn for the first time. I mean, we've been to ball games, but we went to Tommy's. It's going to be exciting to have Eric there. All three of us will be there. But most important, to meet the guys. I mean, when you guys came with us and you went to Longbridge Pizza, and we're not always going to do Tommy's, just convenient, and them being the sponsor. We'll probably do one game, like we talked about. Hey, we'll go to Longbridge before. We'll all sit together in the bleachers for one game, just for fun, something different, and get out there early and have ball. But I think the one thing now that the Niners are eliminated, college football, I know everyone's excited about the Super Bowl. That's fine. But, baseball's here. So, let's have fun with it. And, if we're going to be negative, we'll have fun being negative about the Giants. Because, all we're doing is speaking like real fans.
Yeah, correct.
That's what it's all about.
Eric, I think if here's my big investment in the Bay Area landscape coming up. If we had our own radio broadcast and we did this on the radio, I think the ratings would go through the roof because people are tired of listening to the same old BS on both sports networks in the Bay. the homerism. I think people need real sports talk, real Giants baseball talk, and I think that's what we bring it. Eric, you brought it. Lou, good job. Before we go, I'll throw it to you, Lou, or Eric, to say your good night. Take us on home. We're a month away, almost to the week. We're a month away from the World Baseball Classic. You getting fired up for that? Watching a little baseball? Meaningful baseball, too.
It's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, hey, it's baseball, right? And you're going to see the best from each country. So, hey, why not, man? This will be a lot of fun to watch. Looking
what
forward
countries?
to watching.
Do you know when they're playing? Because I remember last time I watched it, it was games 2:00 in the morning.
I don't know where they're going to be playing, honestly. Oh, you're muted.
Lou, tell me what you think about that.
Miami's the only North America place they're playing.
Oh, jeez.
You know, they try to switch, every couple of years. So, I mean, I'd love for it to be here. I mean, it'd be great if it was at Oracle, but, unfortunately it's not. But Miami's
all right.
the only one. Yeah.
Tune into some Giant Sports Talk Live, then flip on the TV, watch some baseball.
There you go.
Take us on home, Eric.
Let's get out of here. Guys, we back Wednesday. Be good and be safe out there. And we'll see you guys Wednesday night, 8 o'clock. Do it all over again. There you go. The Pop Shop. Let's get the hell out of here. Woo! Woo!
You've been watching Giant Sports Talk Live with Eric and Glenn, a Northern Lights Entertainment Broadcasting production.